Hey y'all, welcome back to Our Life Full of Zest. If you're new, my name is Lindsay and my husband's name is Brad. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight to film the Q&A because if you guys are new, or if you aren't new and you've been following us for a while, you would know that he recently got a new job back in September and his store opened in December, and he's just been working extremely hard and doing so well, and unfortunately there's just not a lot of extra time in the day, and when he does come home, oftentimes he's still on his computer working, and it's been sort of challenging trying to find a time to sit down and do this Q&A because we haven't done a Q&A in a very long time. The reason why it's been hard for me to sit down and do this is because I haven't been feeling well. I haven't been feeling well for a long time, actually. If you guys have been following us for a while, you know that I'm dealing with ongoing back issues since August of 2019. And I also suffer from endometriosis and a few other like chronic pain things that are going on. And the endo is just flaring up right now. And because of that, I'm actually having surgery next week. Next week on the 13th, I'm having surgery to go in and try to clear stuff up. So it's been a little bit of a challenge trying to do this Q&A, but I really want to do it because we haven't done one for a while and I haven't looked at the questions. I did ask 3 different times, so I'll have to go in between each little segment to try to find the responses so that I can try to answer as many questions as possible. And yeah, we'll just get started right away. I'm gonna try to keep this not too long, but try to answer as many questions as we can. So let's get right into it. First one, what is your favorite TV show to watch? Also, I think you're an awesome couple. Well, thank you. So TV shows, gosh, we are a big movie couple. We love watching movies, but when it comes to TV shows, I feel like we really love like watching HGTV, watching like the home like sale TV shows, like lakefront, beachfront, house shopping, that kind of stuff. I think those things are a lot of fun. They have been more fun ever since we started this process of building and buying this house, and they still are fun even still after us being in this house. Brad likes a few TV shows. Like he likes Gold Rush. He likes the one with, oh gosh, what's his name? Mike Rowe, Dirty Jobs. And as far as me, I think the last like big TV show series that I was really into and I'm still into would have to be like When Calls the Heart and Outlander. So I don't know, I guess that sort of answered that question, because like I said, we watch a lot of movies, I feel like, more so than TV shows. Like, we're not Wednesday night sit down watch a certain show, because it's just not who we are. All right, this was a good one. Would you ever build with Highland Homes again, or build a house again in general? So it's a 2-part question. Highland Homes, I feel like that's a whole separate video that I should do. If you guys haven't been following us, then you wouldn't know, but we built a house with Highland Homes here in the Tampa area, and we did not have the best of luck building with them. We had a lot of mishaps. You can go back and watch all of the videos. Stuff is sort of still ongoing with that. I don't know. I would probably have to lean towards no, but there are a few reasons why I would go with them again, but probably no. And I think Brad would probably be the same way, probably no. And would we ever, what was the other one? Would you build a house again in general? Yeah, like we actually have continued looking at houses. With how things are so crazy still as far as the market goes here in Tampa, the area, and Florida in general, if the opportunity ever arises within the next couple of years, if houses are still, at a decent price and not so crazy high as they are right now, and interest rates start to come down, we may look into doing it all over again. I don't know if we would do another like HOA CDD community type build, or if we would look to do more like buy your own land kind of thing. But here in Florida, especially this area, that would be really difficult. But I think yes, we would. So that was a really long answer to that, sorry. Next one is, how did you and Brad meet? So I'll try to do the short version of this. We met back in 2006, and we both were working at a local mall back in Pennsylvania, and we sort of met each other working, not knowing that we had mutual friends. And I worked sort of at a store directly across from his on a diagonal. So I often would walk past his store, go into the food court, because that's how you went to the food court, and you know, we chatted a few times, and I always thought he was just a, what's the word that we used back in the day when I was growing up, a player. Like I thought he was, you know, just a ladies' man kind of thing. But it just so happened that he had a few guy friends that knew one of my girlfriends, and one night we all went out together, met up together at a restaurant, and the rest is history. Started chatting with him that night and realized that he's totally different than what I thought he would be, and turned out to be like the one. And we both pretty much knew instantaneously. I wouldn't say instantaneously, but like we knew pretty quick that we both were each other's one, like the one. So that's how we met. All right, next question. If you become pregnant, do you have baby names picked out? Yes, Lord willing, should we become pregnant with one of these 4 embryos that we have left, yes, we do have baby names picked out. This is sort of like a touchy subject because it's one of those things that having names picked out, yes, our names could change come the time should we ever get pregnant and get to the point where we start picking names more seriously, but I do have a few names picked out, more so for girls than for boys, but I do have some boy names that, well, we have some boy names that we both like, but it's been sort of hard going through infertility as long as we have gone through since trying in 2011. It's now 2023. It's always sort of anxiety driven when you hear of friends and family getting pregnant, and you just sort of fear, even though you don't want to fear, you fear that they will choose names that we have potentially picked out. And it's happened. It's happened with a previous friend, and I think I mentioned this before in a previous vlog, but it is hard. But I try to do my best to not have that anxiety feeling when people are pregnant that are close to us. It's just hard not to, because we've tried for so long to get to that point, you know? This one says, no question, just wanted to say love you guys, and one of these days we need to meet up. Yes, definitely. Let's see. What is the direction that Disney is going in, if any, and your thoughts? This is a loaded question as well. I feel like this needs to be a totally separate vlog because I have a lot to say about everything that's going on with Disney right now, and I've been wanting to film sort of like a Disney update anyways, because we haven't been to Disney in a while, and I sort of just want to share like the reasons behind that and sort of give an update sort of answering this question. So I'm gonna sort of hold off on answering that just because of that reason. Yeah, so stay tuned for that answer. Besides family, what do you miss most about living in Pennsylvania? I would have to say, besides family, friends, I would probably say fall. I love fall colors, but I don't like what's to come after, if that makes sense. So I love seeing the beautiful fall foliage. I think that is just gorgeous. We got a little bit of that in Georgia, and we have a little bit here, but it's not like back in Pennsylvania. So I have to say, like, I miss seeing the fall foliage on a regular basis, but like I said, I don't like what's after that, and that is winter. So I'm not like a huge fan of fall in general, but I do love fall decorations, that kind of thing. And I think the other thing that I probably missed the most would be certain like restaurants, certain things that you can get at grocery stores there versus here. That's probably like the other biggest thing. Let's see. I want to try to go to some of the other days that I asked questions too. So I'm going to click on that one here just because I'm trying to like do as many as I can from each day that I asked. This one's another Disney question. Do you ever think in being a Disney travel agent and something that you could do at home? So yes, that has crossed my mind more than once. Being a Disney travel agent, I think that'd be a lot of fun. When I was still working for Kate Spade before all of my back stuff started going on, actually one of my associates ended up leaving us to go be part of like the customer service rep, doing sort of that type of thing. And I think that would be a lot of fun. And yeah, it would definitely be something to do from home. But the requirements of that type of job, even doing it from home right now, is still a little bit too much for me for my back. And based on my pain management doctor's recommendation, as well as like the physical therapist who did this really intense, long testing, it was like a 6-hour test. It shows that like right now, like I'm below sedentary jobs. So like that's why I haven't been working. I really don't talk a lot about it too much on here because I try to, not that I try to hide it, but I just try to not think about it because I miss working. I miss doing what I did. And so I know I never will be able to go back into retail unless my back becomes 1000% better. But I have been thinking, like, if I get to the point where I can physically do something from home, I am trying to think of many things, and a Disney travel agent is definitely one of those things that I thought of. Would you ever move out of Florida, and if so, where? I don't know. We've talked about this, so I sort of would answer for both Brad and I. I would say yes if it was for the right opportunity, whether that's for a job for Brad or eventually a job for me should I get back to the point where I'm able to work. So yeah, we would be open to it. I don't know I don't know exactly where we would go. I mean, we think Tennessee is beautiful. We think the mountains are beautiful, but I don't know if I could be that far away from the beach. And Brad loves the beach too. So I think perhaps like South Carolina. You know, there's other parts of Florida that we really like too. Like, we love the Panhandle, but with the amount of hurricanes that go through the Panhandle, I just can't see us doing that. So in Alabama, Mississippi, that whole area, again, doesn't really interest us. Texas, perhaps for us, but again, I would want to be close to the beach and hurricanes. So I'd say probably South Carolina, maybe North Carolina, like Outer Banks, that kind of area, or some beach area in North Carolina, South Carolina. So those would probably be the top 2 picks, and then perhaps Tennessee. So as far as what we've talked about, but I don't see it happening anytime soon, but you never know. Oh, I lost my one again. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to like not repeat some of the similar things. I'm trying to answer stuff that like we haven't answered before. I don't know, did I ever talk about this? I'm not sure. Sorry if I did. How did you meet, which we already answered, but the next part of this question was, how did Brad propose? So Brad proposed, well, I guess I should back up a little bit. This is gonna sound a little bit not typical, but I was with Brad when he purchased the ring, my engagement ring. So long story short, I was working at the mall with the jewelry store, not at the jewelry store, but I was working at the mall. And I had seen like 3 or 4 rings that I absolutely loved because they were clustered like a daisy, and daisies are my favorite flower. And so I wanted some sort of ring that resembled a flower. And I picked out 3 different ones, one being like my dream one, and then like 2 others that were more reasonably priced. And one day, it was actually myself, Brad, my sister, and my eldest nephew. We went shopping one day to the mall, and he's like, show me the rings again that you were interested in. And I showed the different ones, I tried them on and things like that. And he's like, okay, we'll take this one. And I'm like, what? So I sort of like, I knew he was buying it obviously because I was there with him, and I didn't know when he was going to propose. So like I knew that he had a ring because I picked it out. Well, I picked one of 3 out and he picked which one, and it's the one that I have. And so like obviously I didn't know when he was going to actually propose, but I knew he had the ring. So I sort of had an intuition as far as like it was going to happen soon, but I just didn't know how soon. And we had planned this was before we got the ring actually. We had planned a trip out to Pittsburgh because we were still living in Pennsylvania. And we had planned a trip out to Pittsburgh to go to a Pirates game. It was actually a 2-game series. And so we were staying overnight in Pittsburgh. So this was planned like I said before he had purchased the ring. And I didn't even think anything of it, but apparently my whole entire family were all in on it. They knew that it was going to happen. We had gone, it was the beginning of May. He wanted to propose inside the stadium, but unfortunately it was a rain delay and it was cold. It was like such a cold weekend in May. It was like the first weekend in May, and it was freezing. So it was a rain delay, so we decided to go get dinner at a restaurant right outside the stadium, and he proposed there. It was actually really sweet because we were on the 2nd level, and it was like sort of a balcony type thing, and we were the only the only person sitting at a table on that side, and he proposed there, and it was just so sweet. Like, I'll try to find a proposal picture here, and I'll insert it here, I mean. But I was like wearing Brad's like heavy like windbreaker, and like my hair was all pulled back. Like I was totally not expecting anything. The only thing that was good is I did have my nails done that weekend, so that was the only thing that was good. Otherwise I like looked like a hot mess because we were both like soaking wet from the rain because of the rain delay. But it was still, again, it was the best. So this one is another IVF related question. Would you use a surrogate? Oh, I guess I sort of answered this before, but it says, would you use a surrogate if your surgery recovery outcome doesn't go well? And we talked about this before. Even if the surgery doesn't go well, like surrogacy is just too expensive for us. It's just not on the cards for us. Like, would I use it if I knew that everything was going to be paid for? Yeah, because that's the only way we could afford to do it. We've invested so much money into IVF thus far, and it's just not in the budget for us. Let's see. I sort of answered this part, but I'll sort of answer the last part of it. It says, do you ever see yourself returning to work? Hopefully you will work as a full-time mom. And yes, that is my hope. I hope that I can be a full-time mom should IVF be successful for us, Lord willing. And, you know, I would hope to be able to work part-time, you know, should my back start healing, that kind of thing. But at this point, I don't know what the future holds. This one's sort of another surgery related. It just says, hi, I hope your surgery goes okay and you have a quick recovery. Thank you. And then let's see. Let me go to the last page because this is getting pretty long. Like, not the last page, but the last time that I posted on Instagram. Let me find that. All right, here it is. So let me answer a few more questions from this one. Do you miss having your pool? This is a good question. Yes, we miss having our pool for multiple reasons. One, especially for my back, like it was so nice to go into the pool to just get some relief, especially because that pool wasn't heated. And that pool at our old place that we were renting before we built this house, like I said, it wasn't heated. So like certain nights when it was sort of cooler and the water was cooler, it felt so good on my back. So it was sort of like therapy. But in general, like we both miss having the pool. And the last half of this question was, will you build one at your new house? Yes, we want to. It's just not in the budget at this point, especially with how crazy prices for pools are right now. And there's just a lot of other things that we would like to do before that, one being the whole IVF stuff. We do have a community pool here, which we've gone to a couple times, but I definitely miss having one directly out back. Why haven't you guys been to Disney in a while, or have you been and just not vlogged it? I sort of answered this question before. We haven't been there in a while. We haven't vlogged it. We haven't been there, so no, we haven't just gone and not vlogged it. Like I said, that should be a whole separate video, so stay tuned. Not sure when I'll film it, but stay tuned. This one is, I thought you were getting a post office box. Maybe I heard wrong in a previous video. So no, you did not hear wrong. We had said that we were signing up for it. It just sort of got pushed to the back burner. I do want to get one. We just haven't gone back to do it. You and Brad have a lot of love for each other, but do you ever fight or have disagreements? Ooh, this is a good question. Yes, we love each other. We are each other's soulmate. He's my best friend. I'm his best friend. But yes, if any couple would tell you that their relationship is perfect and they never have arguments or disagreements, then they be fooling you. They be lying. You know, I think it's healthy to have good disagreements and conversations, as long as you don't like go to bed angry, you don't dwell on it. Like, yes, there's been times that Brad and I have had like difficult conversations or moments in our relationship where we're just like, you know, but you know, that's just part of growing together too. And I think, you know, being able to admit that you have that going on in your relationship and not making your relationship perfect or looking perfect or seeming perfect, I think that's just a good thing. Because like I said, I think everybody goes through it, you know, like we may not have like fighting, screaming matches, that kind of thing, but like we've definitely gotten upset at each other. Like it's happened, you know, that's just a healthy relationship. What are some house projects, updates that you and Brad would like to do? This should probably be a separate video too. There's a lot. It's just not in the budget. There's a lot of new furniture that we would like to purchase. We still haven't purchased a dresser for our bedroom because we sold our old dresser because it was sort of broken. The dining table that I'm at right now, I want to replace that. We want to hang a ceiling fan outside on the lanai. We want to put a pool in eventually. We want to do backsplash in the kitchen. We want to change out the countertops eventually in the kitchen, at least. Maybe not the bathrooms right away, but there's a whole list of things that we would love to do, but that's just not in our budget, and it's not actually really necessary to spend a lot of money. For us, at least, we're happy being in the house, just being here and having a house of our own finally. That in itself is a true blessing. And for us, like, we don't, I guess this is getting a little bit too in-depth, but we're not credit card users. We do have them, obviously, because everybody should have at least one, if not more, just for emergencies, that kind of thing. But like, we don't put money on credit cards to keep it on there. We use it to earn the points and then pay it right off, kind of thing, like monthly. So because of that, and because of all the money that we've invested into IVF, like there's just a lot of things like on hold. If we find the right price for our dining table or find the right price for the dresser, like those are things that we will definitely get sooner than later. But when it comes to other things like the countertops, backsplash, that can wait. Like I want to redo our laundry room. Like there's a whole list of things. Maybe that, like I said, that should be a separate video. All right, so last 2 questions. What are your top travel bucket places, if this is a good question? Places that you both would love to visit? Everywhere? No. Yeah, we both love to travel. But I think for us, sooner than later, we definitely want to get to a few national parks that we both have not been to. One of them being like Yellowstone. We would love to go there. Like out west, let's just say out west, because I've been out west, but I've been to just California, so I don't really consider that out west. I consider like Colorado, Wyoming, you know, Montana. I feel like that area like is the west. California, I feel like it's its own state in my opinion. But yeah, I feel like there's just a lot of like national parks and like historic places that we would love to travel across the US. Alaska is definitely on our bucket list as well, but that's like a pricey trip. And a lot of the places that we would love to go to are just not in the budget right now. I think we've talked about doing a weekend away in Nashville, because I've not been there yet, and Brad's been there, but he's not been there to like do like personal things. He's been there for work. So I think that's one place we would like to go to. We've also talked about going to like New Orleans to have like a long weekend there. So that's probably like the more realistic things as far as bucket list. But big bucket list items, getting to Europe. I've been to Europe, but Brad has not. I would love to go back and visit a few countries that I have not gone to, but also maybe a few that I have been to. Australia is definitely on another bucket list for Brad and I. Yeah, there's so many. We could talk about this for hours because we just both love to travel. Brad's never been on a cruise yet, so I feel like going on a cruise together to go to a few of the islands I think would be a lot of fun, and that would be, you know, a pretty cool trip for sure. But yeah, I don't know how much travel we'll have coming up soon just because of us trying to continue IVF, and especially with this surgery coming up next week. All right, last question. Oh, this is sort of a good question to end on. I don't want to cry. I pray that you both will soon be blessed with your miracle baby. Thank you. Should that happen, will you vlog that experience and then have the baby in the vlogs? Sorry, this may be too soon since you're trying to continue IVF. Wow, that definitely is a good last question to end with. Yes and no. Part of us, we both feel that we want to keep some things personal, but at the same time, I sort of want to share with the world, and so does Brad. Should that happen, should God bless us with a child, I sort of want to vlog every single moment of that child's life with us and with our family and our friends, because it's been such a journey. Well, it will be such a journey should that happen. So in a way, yes, I feel like we probably will. I know there's like a lot of people out there that don't agree with showing kids on the internet, that kind of thing. But I think we would do it in a way that it wouldn't be just a focus on the child. I say that now, but things could change. I don't know. It's such a out there kind of question because we don't know what the future is going to hold. So I guess yes, but there's still a part of that that would probably be maybe a little bit more reserved than what some people do on YouTube. I don't know. We'll see. But that definitely is a good question because it's definitely been discussed between Brad and I. It's just deciding what to do should that happen. Should we be blessed with a child? What do we want to share? How much of it do we want to share? But I sort of feel like in my heart, should that happen, and I pray it does, so does Brad, that I just think I'd want to share as much as I can, you know? And then once the child gets to a point where they understand things a little bit more, then maybe it'd be different. I mean, who knows? Maybe maybe YouTube won't even be a thing then, who knows? Or maybe we won't vlog then, who knows? I don't know. But I sort of want to say yeah, because we've been through so much, and I just want to make sure I don't forget anything, and I just want to share because we would be so happy and so thrilled, you know? Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to officially end this Q&A. Thanks so much for sticking through this entire vlog because it was a long one. I really appreciate you guys watching and listening to our responses, even though it was me responding because Brad couldn't be here. But sorry to the questions I didn't get to. I think I tried to answer as many as I could from each of the days that I posted over on Instagram. So this was definitely a lot of fun and definitely some good questions that haven't been answered before. Maybe some have, I just can't remember. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, y'all, and I will see you all in the next vlog. If you guys are new, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming vlogs. And just for reference, we share on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Bye, y'all.